Hey guys, my name is Aaron Burke, and I'm here to basically start a movie and TV show review series. I'm a big fan of a lot of the shows, the review shows they have on the internet. I particularly like that guy with the glasses.com, and Doug Walker really got me into the idea of doing video reviews. A little bit about me. I'm a film major. I was a film major at Brandeis University, and I just graduated. I'm looking to pursue a career in film production. Also, I write a lot of movie and TV reviews for different publications currently for the website whatculture.com. Big movie buff, obviously. This is just kind of like a test run because most of you that can't quite see where to look, it's basically this camera is on my computer, so I don't know if I'm actually going to post this because it's really terrible quality, but it's just a test run. Yeah, what I'm reviewing tonight, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I'll get an actual an actual camera and sound equipment, and then I'll be able to do these for real. So for now, it's very basic stuff. Okay, so tonight I am reviewing the season premiere of Breaking Bad, the final episodes. It's very exciting, and God, there's so much I loved about this episode. Um, I just kind of wanted to get it all out. From the very beginning, we kind of start out with God, what was the first scene? Oh, so we pick up 5 years, or actually, sorry, no, it's only a year in the future, and very intriguing setup. You have Walter going into the house, and the house is all like destroyed and like torn down and stuff, and you see Heisenberg spray painted on the walls, and what I'm guessing this means is essentially that he's clearly been found out. The public at large knows who he is, and he's had to flee for whatever reason. We saw that scene from the beginning of the first half of season 5, which had him like in a diner in New Hampshire, and he also had the same look, the overgrown beard and everything, and it was clear that he was on the run, or maybe in the witness protection program or something like that, and this is kind of picking up from that scene now. And, yeah, clearly still he's returning to his house to pick up the ricin. Who knows what he's going to use it for. My guess is that he's waiting for someone to find him. Probably Hank would be my guess. Maybe Hank is on his tail at this point in the future. I don't know where the rest of his family is. Maybe they're all dead during this future scene. Who knows? But I'm sure we'll catch up there eventually. Very interesting beginning, but so much else happened in this episode. We pick up with Hank at the toilet, and he walks out, says he's ill, he has to leave, and some other stuff happens. You catch up with Jesse. He basically he wants to give the 500 million that Walt left him. He wants to give it he wants to give half of it to Mike. What's his name? Troutman? Something like Ehrmantraut. Mike Ehrmantraut's daughter. And he wants to give the other half to the family of the kid who Walt's second lab assistant shot earlier in season 5 during the whole train episode. And there's this great scene where Walter comes to convince Jesse to drop it and to not worry about it, and his reasoning is, Mike's alive, and don't worry, Mike can take care of his daughter. And you get the sense that Jesse knows it's not true. He clearly knows that Walt is like this horrible liar now, and he says, I think you know he's dead. And Walt gives him this whole spiel about how, oh, I'm sure Hank's fine, listen to me, I swear I saw him leave with the money in his car, we parted ways, he's gone, he's alive, trust me. And, it's so fucked up in so many ways. He is putting so much emphasis on the fact that he knows Mike's alive, and he's doing it so convincingly, and so much to the point where, if, let's say I hadn't seen any of the episodes of this show, and I just watched this moment, I would think he was absolutely telling the truth. And this is, again, props to Bryan Cranston, who's always great, but he's so convincing as the honest guy, that he is being essentially genuine, and that almost makes the truth of the matter so much worse. Like, you already understand that Walt's this horrible guy at this point who murdered Mike, and you know that, and you hate him for it, but you hate it even more because of how convincingly he's able to lie about the fact that he did it. Like, it's so easy for him to pull a complete fake out and say, oh, no, Mike's alive. Like, such good acting, and so conniving and evil, and just hitting the point home about just how terrible this once mild-mannered man has become. And the other thing I love about the scene is that, Jesse has been manipulated by Walt so much over the course of this show. And, I always say, oh my god, not again, poor Jesse. I always feel really kind of bad for him, and just how much Walt uses him. And I almost thought this was going to be another of those scenes. Like, I thought that, once again, Jesse would actually manage to be convinced that Walt did not kill Mike. But that's not how the scene went. You can tell, Jesse knows he's lying. Finally, Jesse is on to Walt's bullshit. He doesn't trust him at all, and he basically knows that Walt is a manipulative jackass. And I'm so glad that Jesse has gotten to that point, because it was time. It was time. Jesse's been through enough for him to know who Walt is, and I'm really glad that he's no longer buying Walt's bullshit. Great moment for Jesse's character. I can't wait when Jesse finds out everything horrible that Walt's ever done to him, when he finds out, that Walt is responsible for his girlfriend's death, or that Walt was the one who poisoned his other girlfriend's kid. When Jesse finds that out, God, shit is gonna hit the fan. I'm assuming he's gonna find out. Speaking of shit hitting the fan, the other great scene in this episode, so many great scenes, but the two best scenes, that scene with Jesse and Walt, and the confrontation between Hank and Walt at the end. Oh my god. The show has been building up to this scene for literally over 5 years. The course of the show has led us here to the point where finally, Hank knows who Walt is, and Walt, after finding the tracking device on Hank's car, he knows that Hank knows. And so there's this really great tense scene that starts out it starts out where the tensions are sort of being hidden. Walt comes up to them, they chit-chat about, Walt's like, oh, Hank, how are you feeling? You feeling better? And giving him advice, like, do you think there was something wrong with the potato salad? There's just like on surface level bullshit talk, but so much going on underneath. And then Walt's like, okay, well, let me know if you need anything, and he starts to leave. And I was like, oh, okay, well, it's fine if they ended here. They'll pick up the confrontation, at a later episode. But no, Walt turns around, he goes back and says, oh, by the way, can you explain this? Pulls out a tracking device, and then Hank doesn't respond. He just picks up the garage door keys, slowly closes the garage door. The moment he does that, oh my god, so hyped, my heart was like this, and God, it's like, you're just waiting, the garage door closing, Walt is like, oh, I don't like the way you're looking at me, Hank, then boom, Hank just punches the shit out of Walt. It's great, and it's like, that actor who plays Hank, Dean Norris, he plays this scene so perfectly. You know, that punch and everything he says to Walt afterwards, the anger, the pure sense of rage and betrayal as he's going over everything Walt did to him, both in his own mind and to Walt directly. He's so enraged, but he can't quite believe it. And that moment, the way Dean Norris pulls it off, you're just feeling the 5 years of frustration boiling inside of him and peaking to this point. You really feel that from him. Such a great scene between two phenomenal actors, and I'm really glad that I think in this moment, in this episode, and the 7 episodes to come, we're really going to see what Dean Norris is capable of as an actor. And, you know, of course Bryan Cranston is phenomenal. He's won 3 Emmys. You know, he might even win 2 more. But Dean Norris has been overlooked so far. Understandably so. You know, his role has been, well, not one note, but his role, it hasn't been able to sort of achieve the layers that someone like Walter White, someone like Bryan Cranston, or even Aaron Paul have been able to achieve, because their characters have changed so much. We haven't really seen that from Hank, but now we're going to. And this episode, I think, is really starting to show just how wonderful an actor he is. So I'm very excited to see how his character evolves from this point, and where the confrontation between him and Walter goes to next. Again, great scene, the way they leave it off, where you know, Hank is like, he says, you know, I'm gonna, you know, bring Skylar and the kids here and have a talk with them. And, you know, Walt refuses, you know, obviously I can't do that. Hank says to him, I don't know who you are anymore. And Walt, he's basically like, well, if you don't know who I am, then maybe your best course of action is to tread lightly. And the threat is just so sinister. Oof, I really felt a chill when I heard him say that line. And I think that really will set up the course of the rest of the show. I'm so excited to see where it goes. I guess we're going to see a lot more hidden tension. We're gonna probably have scenes like, you know, Walt and Skylar and their kid. I'm blanking on his name. Walt Jr. And Walt Jr. You know, we're gonna probably have all of them sitting with Hank and Marie, and they're gonna have, you know, scenes where they're pretending that they're okay, that nothing's going on, family, da-da-da, but underneath you're gonna see this mounting tension between Hank and Walter. I can just picture how these scenes are going to play. It's going to be great. And then I'm sure, slowly but surely, the family will find out. I bet Skylar will probably find out first, and I'll be very interested to see what how she responds to Hank's knowledge, and how she tries to move forward from there. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's about it for this episode. You know, again, it was just really, really wonderful. That scene at the end, I can't stop raving about it. It's just, I think it's the greatest scene in the show's history. As a fan, it's everything that I've been waiting to see, and it met and exceeded my expectations. And you know, I can't wait to see how it develops. You know, as the characters slowly find out about Walt. Just, you know, it could go in any number of directions, and very excited to see it go there. So I think that's about it for now. You know, I'm going to try to do one of these every week, and hopefully the next few won't be such low grade quality. Get an actual camera and stuff like that. And yeah, so that's about it. I'm Aaron Burke. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Take care until then.